Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about you at SD State and what it can do for you and for the other students here at SDSU. So the best way to find the You at SD State portal is to go to the Miller Wellness Center. This is just for now. In the future, we hope to add it to My State and other places that will make it easier to find. But for now, Miller Wellness Center website is the best place to find it. So if you look over here to the right and click on Programs and Events, and then there is the You.SD State. So you just click on that. And then I'll take you to this page, which has a brief overview of what You at SD State does. But if you really want to get into it, you need to log in with your student credentials. Okay, so here we are in the U portal. And so I'm just going to walk through what it has to offer and how it all works. So we'll start off here on the right-hand side. And so this home is kind of just a general different resources and references. And this does change because you can see up here, these are the featured ones for now. So this does cycle through every time that you log in. If you look at the Explore page, here you can do a search, or they have some options here for you for different references and resources for you to use if you are struggling with something. So if you are having a hard time figuring out study habits, or if you're feeling stressed, you can do a search here, or really anything that you can think of. They have some featured topics that are kind of like the ones that they see the most. And so they've posted those there for you as well. But here, let's just do a search for stress, just to see what comes up. As of right now, nothing. Let's try that again. There we go. And so here are the search results that they have for that. And so these are, again, different articles or TED Talks, or just different resources for students to learn about how to manage their stress in a more productive way. And so they have information here from general resources, but they also have South Dakota State University specific ones here too, and that's indicated by that little tab on the picture. So we'll head on back. And something I should mention as well is that You at SD State focuses on three main things: succeeding, thriving, and mattering. Success, you can see this has some general, what it is referring to, academics and career success. Thrive is in regards to mental and physical health, and mattering is in regards to life purpose and campus connections. So typically what you see students struggling with or having questions about as they make their way through college. And so if you click on one of these, let's say that someone would like some more resources on sleep, you just click on that and then it'll bring you to more resources. And here on this page, here are all the resources, or if you're just interested in what SDSU has to offer, you can click on campus resources to narrow it down a little bit. So Explore is really helping you find what you need to find based off of what you might be having questions or issues with in the moment. And if you're like, I don't know, I just kind of feel like a mess, I don't really know where to start, they have something really nice called self-checks. And so self-checks, again, are based off of the succeeding, thriving, and mattering. And so you can take different assessments here. And as you can tell, you can retake them as many times as you need. That will help you kind of figure out where you should focus your attention on. So let's first start off with retaking this assessment, and we won't go through all of it because there are 20 questions, but these are the questions you can kind of expect. So here we're talking about academics. So have you committed to a program or a field of study? I haven't even thought about it. Are you actively looking for academic or career advice? I could use some support. So you just kind of go through your questions there like that. But then to show you what the results look like, let's take a look at these. So this breaks down kind of where you're at out of 4 stars. Are you really struggling? Are you doing okay? And it kind of helps you figure out where you, again, should focus your attention on. So fitness and nutrition, here we're doing okay. And so it kind of lets you know, yep, as of right now, you're doing all right. But if you would like some related resources, here you go. And then you just click through. So there's a little icon next down here. You just click through and take a look at where you're falling. And so here, body positivity, this is a place that maybe you would need some assistance with. You're feeling pretty dissatisfied. Consider seeking some help. So it gives you some thoughts there as well. And of course, those resources to help you with that. So, you know, if I feel like being overwhelmed as a college student is very normal and pretty typical. And so if that is the case, these self-checks can really help you narrow down and prioritize what you should be taking a look at. Now you have an idea of what you need to work on. Now let's set some goals. And so they have this awesome goal setting aspect here. Again, always focusing on the succeeding, mattering, and thriving. And so let's start a new goal here. So let's get into mattering. And so here are just some general goals that you might want to focus on. And so let's say that I want to make a goal of getting more involved. Here you can create your own goal if you kind of have already something in mind, or if you would like some suggestions, they have some here as well. So let's get some suggestions. And here are just kind of a variety of different things that you could do: attending an event, joining a club, attending a sporting event, getting to know a faculty member or mentor. So let's say we want to join a club. And so here you can type out and kind of remind yourself, why is this important to you? How does this fit into the big picture of your life? And then what's a realistic timeline to make sure that you can achieve this? So it's kind of making sure that it states the realistic. You know, you can always say, I want to make sure that I have this figured out in a week, but you never know what could come up in life. And so making sure it's a realistic timeline. And then they also will send you email notifications, quick reminders to help you make sure that you are keeping this in the back of your mind and staying on track with this goal. And they also do a great job of breaking it down into smaller goals, a little bit more attainable, easier to figure out. And so one of the ones that they suggest is attending an involvement fair or going online to see what's available. And of course, you don't need to do all of these. You can take this advice into consideration or delete it if you would like, or add your own steps if you would like to as well. And then you just set that goal. And so here are the different goals that I have set up, and it breaks it down by number of steps that you have done in order to maintain that goal, the steps that we just set up a little bit ago. And then once you complete a goal, those will be listed here, and you can always create new goals as well. We talked in Explore, going back a little bit, about all the different resources that they have. It can be kind of a lot, and sometimes you're in a hurry, or you're like, oh, I want to read that later, but I don't have time right now. You can bookmark your different goals. So your different resources. So let's see. So I'm having some difficulty sleeping. I don't have time to read this right now, but I'm going to bookmark it and take a look at it later. And so if you go here to your bookmarks, you can see there it is now. And hey, I wanted to join some clubs and organizations. Here we have the specific SDSU clubs and organizations that we have. So I could just click on that and it would take me right there. Very helpful for me to meet that goal that I set for myself. And that's pretty much you at SD State. And here, sorry, I didn't really go through the homepage. Here is kind of a brief overview of everything that we specifically went through here. And so this is just a really great portal and resource for students to use to make sure that they are staying on track and finding ways to help themselves succeed and do the best that they can as students. And so I would love for you to keep this in the back of your mind as you're talking with students and referring them to this, or maybe walking through this with them as well, to make sure that they have everything that they need to be successful. One last thing I should mention is this help in crisis. So a lot of these things here are just kind of general overview thoughts to take into consideration, but sometimes students might need more immediate help, which that's what this button here is for. And so this has the resources that students might need to help them get assistance immediately. So they have the specifics about counseling services, but also text messaging and phone numbers to call if they need help more quickly as well. But I hope that you enjoy using the You at SD State portal and that you have fun working with this portal with your students as well. Thank you.